Hello everybody, and welcome to Real Deal Astrology. I'm Oken, and this is my office on the beautiful island of Bali. Now, today I wanted to speak to you about Mercury retrograde and what exactly that means. Usually 3 times a year, Mercury appears to be moving backwards in the heavens relative to where the Earth is moving in space. And the retrograde periods last approximately 19 or 20 days. And during this time, astrologers have noted that things tend to move backwards insofar as that there are delays. If you write up a contract during a Mercury retrograde, as a rule that contract has to be rewritten. Astrologers never advise people to get married during a Mercury retrograde unless they are planning a divorce, because the marriage would have to be reworked in some way, the marriage contract would have to be reworked in some way. So the only time to do things in terms of moving ahead with Mercury retrograde is if you really want to revise them, if it is within your plans that you need to make a revision in a given contract, a given statement, a given form of communication. Also, when Mercury is retrograde, there tends to be traffic jams, much more so than usual. So if Mercury is retrograde and you plan to go on a trip, make sure you leave yourself plenty of time to get to the airport, train station, or however else you are planning to travel. Now, this particular Mercury retrograde takes place at 3 degrees of Pisces, and I'll just check my ephemeris here. It takes place on the 6th of February, lasting until the 28th of February. So, what happens during that time? Well, for the first 12 days in February, Mercury is moving between 0 and 3 degrees of Pisces. It also, during that time, is conjoining Neptune. So I see a lot of confusion because Neptune has to do with veils. It has to do with lack of clarity. Try to open your eyes underwater, and that's like looking through Neptunian lenses. The only time that Neptune is not cloudy is when Neptune is working to bring in universal love, when the principle within ourselves of how to love people in ways which are non-demanding and unconditional, how that principle within ourselves has grown into a clear sense of mission, a clear sense of how we're going to work with people on those healing levels. Most people do not function like that. Most people have an adverse effect to Neptune. It clouds vision, and in the case of Neptune conjoining Mercury, it clouds logic. I want to point out to 4 groups of you where you may find your logic rather cloudy, or where it may be not too feasible to create contracts and agreements. And that would be those of you born between February the 20th to the 23rd, May the 23rd to the 26th, August 25th to 28th, and November 24th to 27th. For the first 11 days in February, I would say you may find your direction beclouded. Those of you who know astrology, who know the degrees, if you have between 2 and 5 degrees of Pisces, Virgo, Sagittarius, or Gemini prominent in your horoscopes, that information about uncertainty or beclouded issues, that will also pertain to you. So thank you very much for your kind attention, oh yeah, I wanted to mention too that I'm beginning a new webinar series on the 16th and 17th of February in Soul-Centered Astrology, the Ancient Wisdom Teachings, and the 7 Rays. Information may be found on my website. Thank you very much.